So, unfortunately, Fuzzy can't be here today. He said he's on some radio game show called Halt, because I want to guess again. And I'm stuck pet-sitting his lizard and recording his audio. This week I'll talk about the Windscale fire, the first major nuclear accident. Windscale was obviously a fire, but it was worse than normal fires because it was in the core of a nuclear reactor, which is bad. Alright, enough banter, Steve. Let's get to it, okay?
History time.
No, Fuzzy's not here. It's just me. Play something more serious. Don't play Crab Rave. Okay, that's much better. So, this is what the Windscale plant looks like. You can see it on screen here. It's magic. I already explained how a nuclear reactor works, but here's a recap. Neutrons split uranium atoms, and when it splits an atom, the atom releases energy and more neutrons. Sometimes when a neutron hits an atom, it becomes plutonium, which is nice for making bombs. All that atom splitting makes the core hot, so a coolant, in this case air, is pushed through the core. The scientists at Windscale were under incredible pressure to increase plutonium production, and so they changed the cartridge design, making it wider and thinner. They were using the reactor to produce a material called tritium for a hydrogen bomb. And to produce the tritium, they filled the fuel cartridges with a flammable mixture of lithium and uranium that could catch fire if the cartridge burst, which, I needn't say, is kind of bad. And on April 10th, 1975, just that happened. A cartridge burst open in channel 2053, and mistaking the rising temperatures for something else, the operators fanned the flames by turning up the air cooling. This caused the core to burst into flames. Like, the whole thing, the entire thing, go... The men tried pushing all the fuel cartridges out with scaffolding poles, but the fuel had actually melted, so it obviously wouldn't work. Then they tried something rather risky, putting water in the core. The fear was that the water would react with the hot metal and create the flammable hydrogen gas, which would be bad because hydrogen plus fire equals big boom, as the guy who flew the Hindenburg found out. Luckily, though, it didn't explode. Unluckily, though, it didn't put out the fire either. So then this handsome fellow, who you can see here on screen, named Tom Tuoy, climbed the reactor building and felt the heat of a burning reactor. He saw that the water wasn't working, and so he ordered the fans to be shut off, leaving the reactor uncooled and exposed to meltdown. Bad. Thankfully, Tuoy's decision paid off, and he was a hero. The flames stopped several days later, and Windscale was permanently shut down. To this day, several thousand tons of uranium remains inside Windscale Reactor 1. Thousands of tons of potentially contaminated milk was poured in the Irish Sea. And because of the potential safety threat they pose, no air-cooled reactors have been built since Windscale. As a wise YouTube commenter on the documentary I watched as one of my sources put it, air-cooled Porsche equals nice. Air-cooled reactor equals not nice. I'm going to stop bantering now because I'm actually on the time limit and I'm gonna go.